One kilometre off the coast of Newcastle, the crew of the dredging vessel David Allan flicks a switch, releasing a hydraulic lock that allows the ship's hull to split in two. As the 70-metre hull cracks open, 1,100 cubic meters of mud, sand, rocks and water is dumped into a 1 kilometre square area of waters known as the spoil grounds. In one form or another, it is a process that has been operating continuously at the Port of Newcastle for 160 years. Last month's 160th anniversary came at the same time as the port marks 220 years of operation, starting with the first commercial shipment from Newcastle in 1799. As the spoil empties, the vessel turns around and returns to the mouth of the Hunter River to continue dredging, a process that continues 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. Photo: silt and sediment from the seabed of Newcastle Harbour pours into the hopper on the dredger David Allan. ABC Newcastle, Anthony Scully, dredge engineer Dana Crampton reflects on the marvel of naval engineering that is the David Allan. It's really quite unique in how it operates. In a 12-hour shift the vessel might make the journey out to sea 10 times, a fact that might escape most Novocastrians on shore. People see us going in and out of the harbour, and probably half of Newcastle don't know what we do, Ms. Crampton said. It's like, oh, is that what that boat does? 9 kilometers of channels need constant attention. The location of the dredger changes constantly, depending on which part of the port's 9 kilometers of channels needs attention. According to the Port of Newcastle, the dredge needs to maintain a channel depth of 15. meters, from the breakwalls to the Curragongton berth in the river's south arm. Photo: the David Allan operates 12 hours a day, every day of the year, to maintain a depth of 15. Meters throughout the port. ABC Newcastle, Anthony Scully, during the infamous Pasha Bulgar storm in 2007, there was so much sediment the channel lost almost a meter in depth, which took approximately 6 months of dredging to clear. The importance of maintaining safe keel clearance for vessels using the channels is not lost on the crew, which is licensed to move 650,000 cubic meters of silt and sand each year. We play a pretty important role, I'd say, not only for the Port of Newcastle but for the coffers of Australia. Like Groundhog Day, but in a good way. On the David Allan's bridge, dredge master Tim Hooper pointed to a map on a computer screen divided into a grid representing an area the size of several football fields. That's an area where the government's given us approval to place the spoil material, he said. Photo: Mr. Hooper points to the location of spoil grounds, where the government has allowed the dumping of mud, sand, rocks and water from the channels. ABC Newcastle, Anthony Scully, although the repetitive nature of the work can sometimes feel like Groundhog Day, Mr. Hooper said boring is good. There's different flavors of exciting, he said. The most interesting parts of the job, I find, are the problem solving and adapting to the dynamic situations that come up all the time. I was away at sea for 15 years before this, and I now get to go home and see my kids every night. So that's the bit I like. Contact Anthony Scully. More stories from New South Wales.